Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Learn Pro channels. Today we are going to continue with our previous pending exercise for Nvram backups. I will just go back to the previous slides. In this slide, we were stressing on backing up Nvram and your flash memory. And today we are going to demonstrate the exercises and looking at the two scenarios here. Precisely, we are going to use this second scenario as my routers is directly connected to the routers, and I also have my console cable into my console ports. As well, my laptop is acting as a TFTP server. Now, I will also recommend that every network engineers must always, it's a good practice to have your rollover cable in your bags as well as your crossover cable. So from my laptop now to the router, once again, it's a cross, and then I equally have my rollover connected to that. Just to know that, yes, we are just newly trying to get into the box. Now let's go into the business what we have to do today. And we says, get the skills you need. Now, the hands-on plays a very important role. Equally, we stress the last part one of this video, we stress on a lot of in-depth concepts, which are very, very vital to every engineers. The concept must be solid, must be strong, because in every other scenarios, you will have scenarios from one institution to another. So let's go straight into our box. So first I want to connect to the potty, and our serial cable is linked up, which is our rollover because we are linked up directly, and the COM port is COM9. Great, let me see what is happening now. Good, so I'm in there. I just want to enlarge the appearance a little bit so you can also have a clear view of the image, and I'll make it bold and full thing fine, so it can be a little bit bigger for us all to be able to have a better view. Now this screen, yeah, it's asking for the name, so I'll just use the mic and password. Bingo, I'm in there. I'm at the then as sent in another password. Great. So in your router, I'm inside LEMPro-R1 now. And it's very, very important to be able to know that it could be a brand new box. It could be an already active routers onto the live networks. So you must be able to know your size of your memories, and then you'll be able to determine whether you have adequate amount of space within your flash environment. So we say show versions. Now show version give me a clear information as well on the iOS name, and then the versions of the iOS. So it's 12.4 25D. At least this is of course this is an older routers, but it's a K9 and it's 12.4, meaning it's also support IP version 6. So let's go here and see, and it's a Cisco, you can see the exact model here, Cisco 2610XM, not too bad. And we also want to see the size of our Nvram, and it's telling us it's about 32K, very important. Another way you can do that, you can also say dir Nvram and column, and then you'll be able to see exactly what files are in there. Precisely right now, we have something a little bit stuff files in the core, our startup configuration. This is our major concern, and that's the size for now. It's a rewrite, not too bad. Let's see the size of the flash, which is very crucial as well. Yeah, and the size, it tells us our ROS is this, the fullness, which end with the extension bin, and it's also tell us we have 29 968,492 byte use, and available is about 35,85936 available. But total is about, let's say roughly about 32 MB RAM. So not too huge, not too big as well. Now, so having these informations gave us a clear idea on the size. So then obviously you need to check the size of your storage environment. For my hard drive, it has a huge storage space. And once you install the TFTP server, have it configured, create a folder called TFTP-storage. Depends on the TFTP application you are using. So I cannot speak much about every other applications. So my applications will create the TFTP-storage folder. And as we speak, nothing is in that folder currently. So again, we'll actually come back here. Let me go back here into my router. So I want to do my backup, especially for my startup, and then I'll do the iOS backup as well, so we all can run through that. But before I can do that, I need to check whether the router has an IP address. So you can see everything is down. My TFTP server is 192.168.10.2. So this guy doesn't have anything on the interface. So I'll just give it an IP straight away. An IP address 192.168.10.1, and subnumber is /24. So 255.255 does, and then by default, you know the router's interfaces are up, are down. So I just had to turn it up, and let's see what happened. Yes, I can see something coming up now. So I want to see what is happening there, to see if everything, oh, great. Just wanted to see whether this fast internet interface is up. If it's up, I had to also check whether I'm able to ping my TFTP server, which is my laptop now. Let's check that up. Great, I'm able to ping. Let me try that again to have a 5x5. Great, so I have that as well. Having done this, I'm sure that yes, I have communication between my laptop, which is acting as the TFTP server, and that of the router now. Note once again, I stated that I'm using this scenario here, which I have a crossover directly connected, and then also with a rollover cable. So let's start what we had to do. First, I want to back up the flash memory. Again, I will say show flash, and I can see this is the name of my flash, the flash of the iOS in the flash. So I had to say copy flash to TFTP. What am I trying to say? Copying what is into the flash memory to your TFTP server. I enter that. Is asking me the source file name. So I just highlight that name and I right click it. It's would instantaneously that name, and it's equally asking me address or name of the remote host. So I'm actually in the router right now. So this remote host now, it will be our TFTP server 192.168.10.2 is our TFTP server. I hit that, and you can choose whatever destination file name you want, and we can just maintain it like that, just to get the exact name of our OS. Or you can put the institution name. Perhaps you can put the institution name. Maybe if whatever name is, if it's bank A dash C2, whatever routers, whatever naming scheme you are using, but make sure your name scheme is compliant with that of your institutional's memorandum. So let's go ahead and it says, okay, let's maintain that name. And bingo is doing our backup now. So as it's doing that, let's see in our TFTP storage environment, something has now appeared there, but it's not yet done completely. It's about just 168 KB. So we will wait until that is done, and it will take a little bit of time. So let's just wait a little bit to ensure that the backup is successful. Now, I will just, as the backup going on, I will always elaborate on this. Backup your hours. Why? If you loses it, you have copy of your hours. The hours is the operating system, the inter-network operating system that you have. And each model of router will have different operating system. So it's very healthy to have a backup. And then the next thing we will do, we will also back up our configurations. And once you back up these informations onto your TFTP server, and we also learned in the previous exercise, we saw exactly that when you back up, have a copy of the backup next to, and also have another copy of site. In another site, it could be at your DRL site or wherever you think is much healthier, and have a proper naming scheme, proper labeling of your backup files. That will enable you to always, one way or the other, have that information's recover as and when you really need it, and knowing that that is the exact thing you are doing. So the backup is still going on. We just wait a little while, and soon that will be done. Great. Now we are back, and we can see that the backup was done successfully, and it's explained that it was able to copy to about 29.96 MB of the information in 170.74 seconds. Right, let's see now whether that was done successfully. Yeah, so I have a file here, which is on my TFTP server, and I can give it any other name. And but before I do that, I will try to back up the configurations, whatever, into our Nvram. Now, in Cisco, your OS is stored into the flash, and every configurations is stored into your non-volatile memory. So to do that, we say copy, startup, config to TFTP. And it's asking me as well the host name, the host IP or the name, 192.168.10.2, enter. If I want it this way, the name of the destination file to be lempro-r1-config, I say, okay, bingo is done. It just took 60 seconds, 0.60 seconds. So quick. Why? Because we don't have much configurations in there. And right now, create, we have two major files. So recommended, create a folder. Maybe I can call that folder maybe LearnPro dash maybe R1 uh dash maybe we can say ROS and the config files. So please give proper naming scheme to suit what you want, and I can just copy them into that folder. And once it's done, please, that's how we name it, and everything is now in this folder. Then it's always healthier have another copy of this informations onto an external drive, onto your cloud storage, onto your DR site, whatever mechanism you're going to use to ensure that the information is healthy, and as and when you need them, you can bring them back and have a restore of the said informations. Well, thank you for the time, and this is it for our exercise on backing up the Cisco ROS and that of the configuration files. Very, very important. If you want much more training, much more information on this, we say come to LearnPro and get the skills you need. Bye for now. Have a great day.